In today's tutorial, we're going to complete the back-end connection to the front end. We're currently at the step where the back end is working here, and parts of the front end are working, but it's missing some connection points. The green boxes represent what are working, and the pink or red boxes, the components exist and they need to be connected. And the dashed lines represent the missing connections. The solid lines represent the existing relationships. What is working? The FastAPI Backend app is working. We have API add. It will return from a curl request or a API tester. The addition logic is working. The Flet app does work with the page object. The Flet UI components do appear. The text field, first number, there's a box there, but the input is not being sent to the backend. We'll take care of that in this video. So we have to receive the value from the front-end UI box, and when the calculate button is pressed, it needs to go to the post endpoint here. We'll set that up today. Additionally, the backend server, it needs to send the information back to the front end and then update the text display so we can see it on the screen. Currently, the backend, which is on FastAPI, will work if you send a curl request or another type of request from an API tester. You won't be able to use a web browser, but you can use an API tester and it will work. We can display the UI components, the text fields, the calculate button, and the result text display exists, but it's not being updated yet. A function to call the API. Num A will be int, so we'll cast it. Input A dot value. Input A is right there. We created it. So num B will be casting it. Input B dot value. We won't do error checking right now. We'll just see whether it works. We'll set the main message dot value to be initially calculating, maybe dot dot dot, and we'll update the page. So we're going to use a nested function. We'll make another. So this is inside the call API function. Make request, and then we'll go response equals request dot. So this is the Python request package. So we'll copy this, and we will drop it in here, but instead of health, it'll be add. Then we'll have a little comma after the endpoint string, and then we'll set up a JSON equals a num A, and then B will be num B. And this should be a colon. Okay. after the JSON thing, I'll add a timeout. And we'll set the data equals response.json to convert it from the response object into JSON, and the main message dot value, we will change it to the let's do it f string result. So it'll be the data that we just created, and the way that we set it up, there's a result. That it should look for. And if you recall, there's a result there. So that's what we are pulling out. Then we will update the page. Page dot update. Okay. I'm gonna maybe go Control C. I'll collapse this so that it's bigger. Alright, so we have to align this call API up with this def here. So under here, I'm going to dedent it 1. So it's in line with the def for make request. I'm going to page run thread, and it will be this make request. Okay, let's add the calculate button. I'll just drop it down under the health button. Calculate button equals ft. Or maybe I can just copy it. Calculate so to call API. So now we've broken it up. So the call API is up here, right? Accepts the E event, and this one, make request, is inside of it. So it's a more complex function than the get help. And we'll add it in. Right, so I will start the server. And reload it. And we'll try. Oh, look at that, it works. So if I go 3 and 6, 9, and then I'll put 77 and 6, which would be 83. It works perfectly. Nice. Look at that.